Hello everyone, Eric the Car Guy here. I have been asked about this so many times, and finally I get one into the shop that I'm gonna try this on, but I've had so many questions of, hey Eric the Car Guy, can you do a tutorial on how to drive a stick shift vehicle? Well, I'm gonna go through, I've driven them for years. In fact, I preferred a manual transmission for the longest time. I've since, I guess, gotten older and gotten into the automatics. Sitting in traffic will do that to you sometimes. So why don't we just go through the basics of how to do this, and these are my opinions, and of course I'm open to yours, so feel free to comment in the comments below. But we're going to take this 2002 Ford Focus out for a drive and learn how to drive a stick. Okay, a lot of what this really is about is pedal control and the ability to work the gas and the clutch pedal. And in order to better understand it, I suggest you watch the video I did on how a clutch works. If you have an idea of what those moving parts are doing as you're depressing the clutch, I think you'll have a pretty good idea of how to do your shifting. And the hardest part of driving a stick is getting out of first gear. Once you get the vehicle rolling, it's not a problem from there. I mean, shifting gears is not a big deal. But in order to get it rolling, well, sometimes that can take a little bit of practice. So I would suggest going to a place like a parking lot, something like this, someplace away from traffic so you don't have the stress of other drivers around, and just practice. And I would say the most important practice is getting out of first gear. So let's start it up and get it out of first gear. Well, we're actually going to go in reverse, kind of the same thing, and I'll show you what I do. All right, first we're going to have to start the vehicle, and we'll do that by pushing in the clutch and then turning the key. Don't try to start the vehicle without the clutch pushed in. Some cars you can't start the car without the clutch pushed in. Some cars you can, and if it's in gear, which you can make sure it's in neutral just by pushing in the clutch and wiggling the stick back and forth. Some German cars have a reverse where you push down and push up to the left, and some, well, many other cars have a setup to where reverse is way over into the back like that. And usually listen for a different sort of click when you're in reverse. You want to make sure you're not in fourth, or else you'll like go ahead, or whatever gear that is down there. All right, let's start it by starting it up. Okay. Now that I know that I'm in neutral, I can actually let my foot off the clutch and nothing happens. So I know I'm not in gear and I can do whatever I need to do. When I'm pushing the clutch, usually, like I said, you hear like a different click or something when you're in reverse. And now I'm backing out of here, so I'm going to rev the engine up a little bit and then let out the clutch. And then once you're rolling, you can just sort of coast. All right, now first gear, and this is going to be the hardest for a lot of you. You get it in first, and you need to get rolling. Well, the trickiest part is finding where the clutch starts to engage. So what you want to do is just, I like to rev the gas a little bit and then start letting the clutch out, and then start giving it gas as I feel it engage. So that's the balancing act. You gotta work your foot, your clutch foot and your gas foot so that they coordinate with each other. It's going to take some practice. Try not to give it too much gas, and try to just give it enough gas to get it going. And then as soon as it's going, just let your foot all the way off the clutch. I'll demonstrate. Let the foot all the way off the clutch, and away we go. Now we're in first gear, and we can kind of creep along, do whatever we need to do. There's no traffic, so we're good. And then as you shift to the next gear, some cars have a tach, some cars have a shift light. It'll reach a certain point, push in the clutch, shift the gear, let the clutch out, hit the gas. The hardest part is getting going. Once you get going, clutch, shift gear, let the clutch out, hit the gas. Once you get going, it's easy. I'm gonna slip it up into fourth gear. And then lastly, going into fifth, clutch, shift, let out, hit gas. Okay, I'm the type of guy who likes to downshift. So when I'm going to slow down, I'll hit the brake, push in the clutch, let it out, downshift. And when you downshift, you're using the engine to do your braking. So the compression of the engine is actually helping to slow the car down. Go back into first. Okay, nobody coming. Let it out. Once you got the clutch let out, you can hit the gas as much as you want. Just keep your foot away. Sorry. Clutch, shift, let out, gas. Clutch, shift, let out, gas. All right, once again, I like to slow down downshifting. Hit the brake. I gotta stop, so you just make sure you got the clutch pushed in when you push on the brake. If not, you'll stall the engine out. See how I just revved that up and was in first gear and was able to take off? Okay, the bullet points. What is referred to as called riding the clutch. So don't ride the clutch. And what that means is when you're in that sweet spot to where the engine is, the transmission is starting to gauge and catch up to the engine, don't try to keep the clutch staying in that spot for a long time. And basically what I'm talking about is, like, say you're on a hill, use the brake to hold you on the hill. Don't sit there and hold the clutch and the gas to the point to where you don't have to touch the brake and you're just sitting there because you're just slipping the clutch and you're doing, in essence, what's called burning the clutch up. This is a clutch. This is a pressure plate. And on the back of the engine is spinning. And this, the clutch, is connected to the transmission. So this pressure plate spins with the engine. And whenever you push in the clutch, this still spins with the engine and the clutch doesn't move. But whenever you're letting the clutch out, the clutch starts to engage and makes contact and basically makes the connection between the engine and transmission. So they all spin as one. But you push the clutch in and this outer pressure plate is gonna spin freely. But what happens when you ride the clutch is you've got the clutch and the pressure plate partially engaged. So these things are slipping together. That's what you're doing, you're slipping. So they're not exactly going at the same time. It's best when they go at the same time and there's no slipping, because they make that positive connection. If you push in the clutch, it should move freely. Don't be like halfway in between, because that will basically, in essence, burn up the clutch like this one is. See those rivets right there? Those are burned up. So try to avoid that. It's going to be very difficult at first, because you're going to be fighting in your mind, saying to yourself, well, oh, I don't want to ride the clutch, but yet I want to engage the clutch, and how much gas do I give it? That's something that's going to take practice, and it's also, quite frankly, something that's specific to whatever vehicle it is that you're driving. Different clutches grab at different spots. You can get into one car and know how to drive a stick, and get into another and have to relearn all over again. Just depends on what you're driving. But that's basically how to drive a stick in a nutshell. And I hope this information was helpful to you. I am Eric the Car Guy. You can always visit me at EricTheCarGuy.com, or you can find me on Facebook and Twitter. That is under Eric the Car Guy, by the way. All one word. And I always close with, be safe, have fun, and stay dirty. And good luck out there. Try to find a non-populated area to practice in. And get used to it. Once you get used to it, it'll be fun. Because come on, driving a manual transmission vehicle, personally, I feel more connected. I feel more connected to a manual car than I do to an automatic. But why don't you go out and try for yourself? I know you can do it. Good luck. See you.